can you tell about music industry, teacher?
Okay, well, I mean, some online streaming devices like Spotify, they give us as audience members, a chance to hear perhaps bands that we wouldn't have heard before. So they can be good in that respect, and other sort of online streaming devices like Last FM, it will give you if choices, or if you like this, you might want to listen to this. So certainly, this sort of the online age has helped maybe widen our music taste to some degree and given us access to more music than ever before, which is a fantastic thing. But perhaps it might lead to a sort of dearth of new talent being discovered in the future, because the record companies will probably, well, they've had to radically change their outlook, and some have gone to the wall, some have gone bust. So the future it's interesting. The industry will have to change, but maybe the audience, and the audience has certainly changed because we're accessing music in a wide range of different ways. Listening to music more than ever before. The iPod has revolutionised the way we listen to music. Much the same way as 30 years ago, 35 years ago nearly now. The Walkman did the same thing. We can be in our own personal spaces listening to music all the time. And on our iPhones. However, the problem with this is these companies like Spotify and also iTunes, the royalties they pay to artists is next to nothing. A relatively well-known artist when I was growing up, David Byrne of Talking Heads, he recently wrote about how Spotify paid him between the years of 2010 and 2013 a grand total of $560 for the music that he had been streamed. Now, he was someone that had quite a number of hits in the 80s, and there's a pretty well-known artist to people over a certain age, maybe over 40 odd. So and if he's only getting that limited amount, then it shows that other artists probably aren't earning a great deal from these kind of streaming. So it means that more and more artists are having to rely on their touring money as a way of sort of like financing and funding themselves. I mean, David Byrne also gives the example of an album he made with Brian Eno about 5 years ago. He was given an advance by the record company. It was an independent company, gave him an advance of $220,000 to make the album. Now, that would seem like a pretty good amount, but the album took a year to record, and it actually only made overall $276,000, and that was over I think a 3-year period. So actually, if you kind of break that down over the period of time he wrote and recorded it, which was a year, and then the following 3 years, that's a 4-year period, his total profit was $56,000, which probably equates to about £38,000 or under £10,000 a year for 4 years. So he's a well-known artist, so if that's all he's getting, it's not sustainable for most artists, so careers can't be sustained anymore. So artists are going to struggle, and that will ultimately mean that there'll be less music or less new music being made.